Alright, what is up, boys and girls? Welcome back to another video. As always, welcome back and thank you very much for watching. Please do like and subscribe. Taking a quick look at Verasity here, as always, on the daily time frame, back with another daily update. Before we begin, please do hit those buttons down below, really helps out the channel. And leave a comment, let me know what you think is going to happen with Verasity next. And without further ado, we are taking a look at this crypto on the daily time frame here. We could see quite clearly that Verasity is indeed chilling right now. It's having a decent time. It is still heading down in this descending wedge. You can see it very, very clearly here. I've got it very, I would say well labeled, I guess you could say. It might deviate a little bit. Maybe it's something like this. Maybe it's a little bit something like this. But realistically, I would say the descending wedge is still in full force. A lot of people are saying that the descending wedge has been broken out of and it's looking more like this. But I would probably say that that's not necessarily the case. I've obviously drawn my wedge from those clean cut candles there. Had a few people on Twitter yesterday complaining that my descending wedge wasn't correct. But when you draw it from the actual closed candlesticks and not just the wicks, it's pretty obvious that we are still inside this, at the very least, under this resistance here. Obviously, you could argue that maybe this should be looking more like this. But really, I mean, what is it this? Is it like this? Realistically, we are just, what we're doing here, we're still heading down in a wedge overall, aren't we? Maybe the wedge is more like that. But realistically, you would say, you know, resistance, support, bounce, 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 and now heading down again towards the bottom of the wedge after another rejection at the high of that resistance of the wedge, sitting up at around that 0.5% level in and around the 0.23 Fibonacci. Obviously, that's a big psychological level for Verasity. The 0.5% level currently sitting at around, what is this, just over 1/4%. These very, very small derivative amounts for Verasity coming in clutch at the minute. But overall, I would say Verasity, you know, it's doing okay, isn't it? It's doing what it needs to do. Just retracing right after this big pump. I did say at the time of this, go back and check my videos from January, February, that we were most likely going to retrace, and you could see very, very clearly that has happened. Huge pump, and now we are coming down, filling in some of the gap here. And really looking like we are coming down, retesting this area in reality, aren't we? After, you know, basically getting the breakout and now coming back test of this previous area. Anywhere from around, you know, 1/3% to 1/4%, I would say is a good area for Verasity to come back into for a retest. Especially with this very, very, you know, this is a bullish continuation pattern really, isn't it? And I do think if Bitcoin does start to come back up again, which I do think is quite likely, we'll probably see something like this happening where Verasity comes down, in my opinion at the very least, comes down, retests the bottom of this wedge again, retest this overall massive channel that it's in like this. As you can see, we've got the test, bear market, and we could have the test, bull market now at the bottom. It could really be as simple as that, but we will see what happens next. I do think we could see a back test in this area and then a big push to the upside, a breakout, and then heading up towards that 2 cent level could be the next target in my opinion. Because that would be the technical target for the breakout of this descending wedge here. Basically just pump, consolidation, and then continuation up towards 2 cents. That would be a very nice pump right now, around a 5x from the current price, which would be really, really cool to see. But right now, Verasity just chilling, and we are just waiting for Bitcoin to make a move. Obviously, very low volume and low interest in the markets right now, and that's exactly what we saw back here when we were down at, what were we down at? 1/5% for Verasity down here. Everyone thinking the crypto's dead, and then all of a sudden a 5x move from the lows. You can see very low volume tapering off, tapering to the downside, continuous sell off. You can see very, very similar right now. Could be on the cards soon. I'd say it's fairly likely, to be honest, considering that we are heading towards a bull market pretty soon, in my opinion. And that is really it for today, guys. Another little daily update for you on Verasity. Like and subscribe. Leave a comment. Love you all. See you in the next one.